cured can narcissistic traits I may have picked up be reversed? A narcissist is the last thing on the planet I want to be. Okay. If you are truly a cluster B, it's very unlikely that you will be worried about being a cluster B. If you are full-blown NPD and you found out that you were full-blown NPD, your response would not be horror. It would most frequently be delight. You would openly be proud of the fact that you had NPD, because it's a very rare and very special diagnosis in which the person feels and acts as though they are very special and unique. So, through the amazing ability of the cluster B to double bind normal human behaviour into everything that is to their advantage, they've actually managed to turn the diagnosis into an advantage. So, if you're sat there at home, as I have, fretting over whether you might have cluster B personality disorder and be a narcissist, the answer is you probably are not, because that alone is not the behaviour of a cluster B. If you want to know whether you're a narcissist or not, or you want to know whether you've got a problem, I've got a really simple test for you. There are 9 traits of narcissism. I won't go through them all here because all that will happen is you'll switch off and you won't remember. I'm going to give you 2 of the traits. This is what I consider to be the most important elements, the parts of narcissism that you can't remove, that if you do remove, it really is no longer narcissism in any realistic or useful way. And the 2 E's are exploitation and entitlement. Do you feel entitled to more than other people? Do you feel entitled to special treatment? Do you feel entitled to exploit others so that you feel better? Do you think it's okay to ruin another person's entire life, entire business, entire, ability to love again, just so that you feel a bit better? Is that a ridiculous question? Do you find that horrifying? If the answer is yes, that's a ridiculous question, of course I don't, and yes, that is horrifying, you are not cluster B in any realistic sense. It's exploitation and entitlement taken to the nth degree. The other traits that you'll see listed, people can have them without being truly cluster B. They might just be a bit of a dick, or they might just be a bit self-centered. Things like being in love with a projected image of yourself, well, that's actually not a good example. If somebody's really in love and really committed to a projected image of themselves that's not based on reality at all, then they're probably cluster B. Remember as well, the cluster B definition is you have to have had a traumatic break with reality. Morals no longer interest you. The idea of rights and wrongs, these are funny, amusing little things that mere mortals obsess over to the narcissist. They're not going to sit there and wake at night going, oh, when I do this, am I trying to, am I a narcissist? Am I the narcissist? No, you're probably not. You're probably not. Is it possible to have pronounced narcissistic traits without being NPD? Yeah, it is. If you go and answer some online questionnaires and don't lie and tell the truth, because they're pretty easy to trick these online questionnaires, but if you don't lie, if you tell the truth, then you're going to see what kinds of questions are they asking. I feel like I should, how true is this statement? I feel like I should be in charge even if I'm not qualified to do the job. Okay, well, that's insane. Like, of course, if you think, as just one example of a question you commonly asked on a narcissism questionnaire, if you think that you should be in charge when you have no qualifications, just to have power for its own sake, then yeah, you're a bit mad. If you think it's okay, if you're entitled and you're exploitative, then you register for cluster B. In order to be a covert narcissist or an inverted narcissist, which is the other term that people get confused over, and I was confused over for a long time, you must first and foremost be a narcissist. You have to feel incredibly entitled, so much so that you think it's okay to be abusive to other people. Now, the question continues to something that can be a problem. You feel like you're playing the victim card. Are you playing the victim card, or are you genuinely the victim? You say that you have a poor me mentality. A poor me mentality, let's be really specific about this, is a victim complex, is a persecution complex where you feel victimized even though there is no external, objective, verifiable reason to feel victimized. So if you apply critical thinking to your scenario, do you have a reason to feel victimized or not? Or is this just an obsession of yours that you've had since childhood? I'm rather suspecting that you do have a reason to feel victimized, and that somebody is making you feel guilty for even asserting that you have been victimized. If that's the case, you're not playing the victim card. Playing the victim card is to lie, is to feel entitled enough to exploit a system or a person by pretending to be a victim, consciously and deliberately pretending to be a victim when you are the abuser. That's what playing the victim card is. It's exploitation. Are you doing that? So it's a simple binary, yes or no. Are you doing that? And if you're going, no, well that's no. So then that's not what is happening here. What is more likely to be happening here is you've had so much of your ability to think critically and objectively and in a righteous, to be able to form righteous judgment inside of your own mind. All of that equipment inside has been kicked over and stamped on and smashed to pieces by narcissistic abuse, that now you can't determine up from down, in from out, left from right, which is exactly what the worshippers of chaos want, so that you can't distinguish between right and wrong. So you just end up swimming and ultimately drowning in a thick soup of moral relativism in which nothing means anything and there is no right or wrong. To whom is it advantageous for you to think and feel this way? Does it happen?